Well, it's officially over. The Knicks have come into town and snatched one right out of the Indiana Pacers. The series is now 2-1. What a gutsy game. Let's jump into it. All right, so initial reactions and thoughts on this game as we go into it. We've seen the progression of how this series has gone with Game 1 and Game 2, and then kind of going back to the basics of how we've looked at the Knicks' history in the playoffs on the road. They've done pretty well. And wouldn't you know, just like Game 1 and 2 against Boston, it was a 20-point comeback. And this comeback started in the second quarter, sorry. And this comeback started in the second quarter. You could feel it. Topin, he had a dunk. Turner, he had a three. Halliburton had a three. And like the game, the Pacers went on a 13-0 run that got the lead up to 20. And it's like, okay, all right, someone call a timeout, please. And then they ended the half with a good run to just kind of get some momentum before halftime. Because if they could just kept playing like how that was, this game would have been over. This series is 3-0. So impressive by the Knicks to try to cut back into that lead before halftime. And then we roll into the third and the fourth quarter. I think some big unsung heroes that will probably get glanced over just a little bit. McBride. I think McBride was a huge spark plug for the Knicks. And I think Josh Hart, like we saw on the very last play, like there were a couple key components. Defense, Josh Hart, McBride, but also, rebounding and all that. And Karl Anthony Towns too. But with how just he had a spark plug, Josh Hart, you could see like maybe the points weren't there on the big impact, but his ability to get rebounds and clutch rebounds when they needed it, and then especially with the Knicks defense, like we saw it with the final 10 seconds to go. Siakam has it top of the key, and then we see OG Anunoby and his crucial defense being able to have Siakam throw up a terrible three that bounced off the top of the glass, but crucial rotation and defense, kind of what I was talking about in my video on like conditioning and how can the Knicks get back into this thing, is the rotation players made an impact on this game. Defense made an impact on this game. With like 5 minutes to go, Brunson was sitting, and it's kind of like, okay, do you bring him back in? I mean, okay, he's not having a 30-plus point game like he's had in this series. Like, I think he only had 20 in this game. But, like, everybody else who we needed to have a big game, whether it was Hart, whether it was OG, Karl Anthony Towns, they did. And that was probably the last big thing to talk about with this comeback win, because this was a huge comeback win for the Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns and his 20-point fourth quarter, huge. It was really crucial. I think also too, and it's probably going to get kind of glanced over, kind of like how McBride will too. But Nesmith got injured. He got rolled up on, and the time that he was out of the game, and like the tactical substitutions to, hey, let's bring our defensive guys in for the Knicks, that worked. So whoever made that decision, applaud to you, because that's the reason why this series is now 2-1. Because when Naismith came back in, you could feel his impact, and there were stretches, there were moments towards the end of this game where it's a 3-point lead. Okay, now it's a 2-point lead. Okay, now it's back up to a 4-point lead. But the second the Knicks were able to catch up and take the lead with, I think Cat was at the free throw line or something like that, or maybe it was a 3-ball. Because when he hucked up that 3 and made it, it's like, holy hell, don't shoot that. That's not your shot, but it went in. Crazy. We have a series now. This thing's 2-1. We'll see how things fare out in Game 4. But that's my initial thoughts and reactions on this, is when the Knicks needed it the most. I like to also how their record, I believe, was 0-9 for winning playoff games in Indiana. That's done. So that streak's officially snapped. But look at the Knicks, man. The comeback kings. Hell of a game, man. And it'll be a hell of a story if they can keep this momentum rolling and win this thing in 7. So, again, one win. Tonight was one win, and they got to find a way to win 4 games. 4 games in the span of 5 games. Does that make sense? Because, Pacers only need 2 more with math. 5 games left. They got to win 4 out of the 5. Anyways, you get the point. Knick fans, how we feeling? Let me know in the comment section. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.